Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be starting up a new series. Minecraft has been popular recently, so I thought I'd use this as an opportunity to become an epic gamer. I already do quite a lot of gaming videos, to be fair, on this channel, but I'm going to build a theme park inside of Minecraft. I'm going to be doing it in this sort of time-lapse style for the foreseeable future. However, if you would rather see like live building footage, real-time stuff, then of course tell me in the comments. I was considering maybe going real-time for things like the coasters, but I don't know, up to you. Tell me what you'd rather see. Time-lapse with commentary over the top, I suppose. It's kind of like a podcast. Not really, it's nothing like a podcast, to be fair, but with this commentary over the top I can talk about all sorts of things whilst you watch the building going on in the background, or I can focus more on the building itself and do real-time stuff. So yeah, tell me in the comments below which of them two you'd rather see. This episode is mainly going to be doing the entrance and then a bit of the main street as well. I am having a main street and you'll see that a bit later on in this episode, but for now I've just built a bridge because I want it, when you spawn in, I've set the world spawn right there. When you spawn in, I want it to be more like you're getting to the park rather than you're just in the park. It's kind of awkward to do a spawn in Minecraft with a theme park, but I think a bridge going to it is quite a decent strategy to get there. And now I'm building like the entrance area where the ticket booths are going to be within this kind of circle, and I'm just figuring out at this point how the circle actually works. There's going to be a lot of this figuring out as I'm just getting used to it again, because I've not played it in quite a while. Properly anyway. So talking about playing it, this is one of the worst segues I think ever, but talking about playing it, I'm actually playing it at the minute in 1.8. I was going to say don't ask me why, but to be fair, I've got roughly 13 minutes worth of time left, so I've got perfectly enough time to explain why. It's not even a difficult reason to explain, my brain was just having a mare. Basically, my computer wouldn't run 1.14 or 1.14, so I couldn't play it. I've managed to get it to run 1.14 now, however I'm still not going to play this series on 1.14. I'm actually going to, after this episode, go to 1.13. So the reasons originally for 1.8 is obviously the lag I was feeling was just ridiculous. So now going to 1.13, it's obviously got way more building resources. It might be a bit laggy at times, but obviously in time-lapse you won't see that, so it won't affect you. Yeah, the amount of building resources available in 13 were much better. And also there's just some mechanics that just annoyed me in 1.8. And also, as you'll see a bit later on in this episode, clay looks crap in 1.8 to build with, but terracotta, which is the equivalent of K in 1.13, is much nicer to look at. So there's just changes like that. And also I'm not going for 1.14, partly because of the lag, because the lag between 1.13 and 1.14 was quite bad, but also because there's a certain game mechanic which is quite major in terms of building a theme park. This theme park, I want to do it as realistic as possible. That's one thing. You see a lot of times theme parks in Minecraft aren't the most realistic thing, and that's fair enough if that's what the people are going for. But for me, I want this to be as near realistic as possible, especially being an enthusiast. I'm going to try and keep it as realistic as possible. But yeah, as I was saying, to keep it realistic, there is this certain game mechanic where if you put rails over soul sand, even powered rails over soul sand, it goes much slower. So what you can do is you can build the lift hills out of soul sand, put powered rail on it, and then it elevates you much slower than it would with just normal powered rails. And the difference between a soul sand lift hill and a normal lift hill is so much in terms of the realism of the ride itself that I just changed what version of the game I decided to actually play it on. It's such a major thing for me. But I don't think, to be fair, 1.14 is that great an update anyway. I've not played much on it. I've not played survival on it, so I couldn't, sorry, I need a glass of water. I couldn't really tell you much, but yeah, I'm not the fondest of it. I had a theme park I built myself actually on here a while ago, just in my own free time. It was like quite a while ago, but in that I've learned a few tricks, so hopefully I can implement them there. That was a wild segue, wasn't it, just? So I'm also going to be building in the next episode actually a castle at the end of the main street. Not a Disney castle in that sort of way, but a castle, more of a traditional medieval English castle, and it's not going to be anything great because these buildings actually turned out quite well. Some of them were inspired by the internet, I will admit. I have not actually copied directly any of these buildings that you'll see me building now, but I have found pictures on the internet and took inspiration from them. I'm sure you could probably find the pictures I've taken inspiration from, but I can assure you none of them were copied. But yeah, so I'm not the greatest builder. Hopefully I can get better over the series. But yeah, so I wouldn't have any high hopes for this castle, but if anyone knows any good castle building tips, that's a bit of a bizarre one to ask for, but if you do, don't hesitate to tell me, because I'll probably end up using them. And actually, whilst we're on that subject, I want this series to be as interactive as it possibly can be. I mean, a Minecraft Let's Play series, you can't exactly come into the world, so it's not that interactive, but in the sense that you get to like choose the names and stuff. So if anyone ever leaves any names in the comment section, I'll definitely look to try and use as many of your suggestions as possible. So of course, leave your suggestions in the comments below for names of things like the rides, the park itself. If there's anything in particular you want to name, of course, tell me if you've got any suggestions actually for what I build in the future, because a lot of the time inspiration is one of the hardest hurdles to actually overcome in Minecraft. So of course, tell me things that you'd like to see me build, and I'll do my best to build them. I'm now working on my second building in this main street. This one's a lot whiter, and actually in between episodes I have now switched, since I filmed this, to 1.13 as I said I would, and I have gone back with concrete, and I've changed some of the terracotta I used in this episode, or clay in the case of 1.18 or 1.8, sorry. God, I'm going quite far into the future there. But yeah, I've used some of the clay I used in this episode and changed it to concrete, purely because concrete does just look better, doesn't it? It's much more vibrant, and you'll see at the end of this episode when I show a few clips of the street as a whole, it has a kind of dark feel, and I didn't want that. It's meant to be the happy part of the day. You've just come in, the music's blaring out, everyone's laughing and smiling. This is meant to be the best part of the day as you're going in. So to have it looking a bit doomy and gloomy, I wasn't very fond of, so I have changed some of the buildings to concrete. However, that white building there I've kept the same, because white concrete doesn't create as much of a contrast, and then that looks weird. I believe though I have changed this blue building. Oh, I'm not sure actually. I think I changed it back, because I think concrete blue was one of the few that actually looked weird. I've definitely changed some of the buildings on the other side of the street though. But yeah, I just didn't want it to be as doomy and as gloomy as it is at the minute, or as it will be. So yeah, I just put the time in there, and also since last episode I've just built some of the path out a bit to go all the way along, and I've also done the terraining for where the castle's going to be, because to be honest, watching me build a path that you can already see running through the main street, just extending that out, I don't imagine that's the most entertaining bit of Minecraft building footage you can see. So yeah, I've built that out in between episodes just so you don't have to watch it, and also the terraining I did for the castle. Once again, I just don't think watching me build a mound of dirt is that entertaining, and if you desperately wanted to see how I did it, to pick up some building tips, I mean, I don't know why you would, but yeah, it looks vile. It's not meant to be anything special, it's not meant to be realistic, it's sort of meant to look man-made, and it does very much look man-made. I've literally just done a pyramid sort of style, just it stops at one point and flattens out. You'll see what I mean. I've not explained that well in the slightest, but you'll see what I mean next episode when I get to that. So make sure, if you're not already, here comes the plug, subscribe, turn notifications on if you of course haven't already. Recently, actually, my channel seems to have been hit by YouTube. I've been proper snaked, right? I've got a sneaky feeling not everyone is seeing my videos in the subscriptions box. I mean, it might just be that I'm crap, to be fair. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the reason why. But YouTube has gone from me getting, it's not much, but a few hundred views a video, to now me being lucky to get 100 views in a video, and with 4,000 subscribers that leads me to suspect that maybe YouTube isn't really showing my videos to everyone. If you have seen all of my last videos, tell me. There's a lot of things for you to tell me in the comments. I've given you a right list. Pick a few things and respond to them. But yeah, if you have seen my past few videos, tell me. And then equally on the other side of that, if you haven't seen me, that would be very valuable information. If this is one of the first videos in a while of mine you've seen, or if you just happen to have stumbled across it and it wasn't in your subscriptions box, of course tell me. I'd really want to know that, because I don't know, maybe I'm trying to blame someone else, maybe it is my fault, maybe I'm doing something drastically wrong that all of a sudden stopped me getting the average views I get. Like in the past I could make a subpar video, I'll be honest. There's some videos I made in the past that I wasn't happy with, or maybe I was lazy with SEO sometimes, but I'd always solidly get over 100 views, and now I really struggled to. I think the last video that did might have been one of my Chessington vlog, maybe, I'm not even sure if that did. Vlogs that would normally get 400, 500 views are now getting 40, 50 views, and it is quite disheartening, to be fair, when I'm putting in 2 hours, 3 hours worth of work in a video for 40 people to see it. It's not great, is it? But I'm just going to keep going with it. I'm not going to give up. It's just disheartening. This video especially, I've played Minecraft for 2 hours, 2.5 hours worth of content. This is crunched down into 15 minutes. I've got a suspicion that this one might do alright, hopefully, because YouTube tends to prefer long videos. Now, I try and make my videos as short as possible. Tell me if this is something you wouldn't want me to do, but I try and make my videos as short as possible, because I know the attention span a lot of people have these days, including myself. I'm not passing the blame onto anyone, and I know that shorter videos people would rather prefer when it's some probably less interesting topics, so I do try and keep my videos to a shorter length. But yeah, of course, tell me what sort of stuff you like to see in the comments, and of course I'll do my best to accommodate it. Anyway, we are just about coming to the end of this episode now. You've got a lot of interaction to do in that comment section, so you better get to work. If you haven't already, subscribe. And I'm going to leave you with some stills of the main street. So thanks for watching, and here they are. Goodbye.